Welcome back to the Ed Show, and thanks for watching tonight. Food riots across the Middle East, and Wall Street has their fingerprints all over it. And don't think it can't happen here. I mean, folks, we did have $4 a gallon gas, didn't we, on speculators? And it could happen again. The USDA predicts our food prices are going to be going up this year. President Obama campaigned on doing something about this, but we haven't seen any results as of yet. I know there's a lot going on. And with Republicans in control of the House, it's not clear we will get anything done until it's too late. Let's bring in North Dakota Senator Byron Dorgan, just recently out of the Senate, who sat on the Commerce Committee, among others, comes from a farm state and predicted more than 10 years ago what deregulation was going to mean to this country. Senator, thanks for staying with us tonight. I appreciate your time. How did this all happen? If you can just pin it down for us, how did this all happen?
Well, you know, the Congress, the government gave a green light to the big financial firms in this country and said, do what you want to do. We won't look. We'll put regulators who are willfully blind in place, and you do whatever you want to do. And the result has been unbelievable speculation in the commodities. We've seen oil go to $147 a barrel, and day trading had nothing to do with supply and demand, had everything to do with greed and speculation. The same is true now with food. And the interesting thing is, we now understand that what lights the fuse in some of these countries, Egypt, Jordan, Tunisia, Yemen, is the price of food sparks the protest that has people in the streets. Yes, there's a passion for freedom, but they're in the streets driven, at least in part, by this increase in food prices. And now, as you say, we see fingerprints from Wall Street all over this with unbelievable excess speculation. And it has to stop.
And we know that the Republicans are not about regulation. They're about deregulation. And we could see more of the same. I mean, I don't see anything stopping this freight train coming. Do you?
Well, we will see more of the same. Now, I know there was a financial regulation and re-regulation passed by the Congress, but, you know, frankly, it moved in the right direction. But it was a feather dusting, not a spring house cleaning, which is what we really need. We need to go back and say, look, these markets are there for a purpose, legitimate hedging and so on. But when there is excess speculation, get the speculators out of those markets. If they're going to pervert those markets, get them out of those markets. See what they do. I mean, this issue of food pushing people into the streets in other countries is destabilizing to the world. It has a national security impact on this country. I think it's time for us to get a grip and decide as a country, we won't allow this excess speculation. It is dangerous to our future.
Senator, you have conferenced with Hosni Mubarak on numerous occasions. How do you see today's developments? How stubborn is he? What do you think the timetable is going to be for him leaving office?
Well, I've met him both here and also in Cairo. And I don't know, I don't think anyone knows exactly how this plays out from this day forward, but clearly he's made some concessions today, and we'll see what the Egyptian people think of that in the coming days. But Egypt is very important to us and to the Middle East, and it's very, you know, the president's playing, I think, a constructive role in trying to push and yet not push too far here. So we'll see in the coming days what this means. Clearly, President Mubarak is not going to run for re-election, he told the Egyptian people today. That's a significant step forward.
Do you think the protests have brought him to this point? I mean, the guy's 82 years old. He says he wants to die in Egypt, meaning he wants to stay with some dignity in his own country. The bottom line here is that these protests aren't going to stop, so there's still a lot to be decided about his future.
Well, I mean, he doesn't look 82 years old, by the way, but he's been there a long time. There's a built-up passion by the Egyptian people. They want the taste of freedom more than he has given them, and we'll see.
What's your opinion of possibly an extremist coming to power in that country?
Well, I worry about that. I think we worry about that not just in that country, but other countries as well. You know, you saw that the leader of Jordan took action today to form a new government, having a lot to do with food price increases that concern the people in Jordan. But
and what do you make of the president saying that he needs to move now? Mr. Mubarak, I mean, the president came out today and said, you know, you need to move on this now. What does that mean?
Well, I think the president is trying to push and yet not push too far. I think he has pushed to the point that had an influence on what President Mubarak said, and that was, I'm not going to seek re-election. I think President Mubarak is hoping that will satisfy the Egyptian people, because that election would occur later this year. But we'll see. I hope very much that this gets resolved the right way. The people of Egypt live in freedom in the future. And I also hope we understand from this circumstance that we have to do something about excess speculation in commodity markets, not just with respect to the situation in Egypt, but here at home as well. Food, oil, and other commodities. That's for hedging, not for speculation and excess gambling that's going on.
Senator Dorgan, thanks for your time tonight. Appreciate it very much. We're going to stay on this story tomorrow with the people standing in the way of fixing this. We're naming names tomorrow here on The Ed Show.